You know, it's not hard to prop something up when you're cheating. It's not hard to fake numbers when you force people to participate in something. And it's not hard to figure out how the Melania documentary is so poorly reviewed by critics and how overseas and around the world and around America we've seen empty theaters. Yet a lot of people have seemed to seen this movie, and now we're figuring out why. I'm Josh for Ring of Fire Weekends, and I'm talking about the Melania documentary that is one of the worst reviewed movies ever, and we've done some reporting showing that it is the most expensive documentary ever made, which might have been a bribe or at least political favoritism from guys like Jeff Bezos, especially when Melania Trump is taking home a staggering $28 million from this absolute crap film. It's covered everywhere how awful this is, but we've seen some things out there that have raised some eyebrows. First of all, we've seen reports that there were people being paid as much as $50 to go sit through this film where Melania gives no real new insight, nothing. She just kind of stands in silence a lot. But we're also hearing something much more troubling, something troubling that's coming out of the Pentagon. According to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, they are a 2026 Nobel Prize nominee, unlike Donald Trump. They are getting flooded with complaints that at least 8 military facilities have advised their soldiers and their service members that they need to go see the Melania documentary. At least one of these unit commanders is extremely open about his commitment to MAGA and criticizes service members who aren't committed to the MAGA movement. Soldiers have complained of this unit commander wearing the red MAGA hat on base and at functions. So let's get into the details a little bit about what's going on here. In a lot of units in the U.S. military and actually even abroad, there are team building type exercises that our servicemen and women are required to go to. And in these particular cases that we're seeing that are reported to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, these units have to see 3 out of 4 of these team building activities. So it's not mandatory that you go to any given one. You get to choose which ones you go to, but you have to go to at least 3 of them. And one of them happened to have been the documentary, the Melania documentary Off Base, with one unit commander strongly advising, using that word advising, his unit to go see this crap documentary. And the complaints have been flooding in. They've been all over the place saying, we don't feel comfortable that our unit commander is participating in highly political activities and strongly advising his units to go see this movie. I want to point out something. The military isn't like another job. It's not like having your boss say, hey, I really want you to go see this movie. A military unit commander, for all intents and purposes, they run these military members' lives. And to make sure that they go see this movie is an absolute slap in the face of religious and political freedom inside the military. Again, this has happened at least 8 facilities, according to the MRFF. And the Pentagon did put out a statement, so thankfully they've responded to it. But they did not admit that this ever happened, and they did not condemn the practice either. Their statement reads, there is no Department of Defense, thank you, directive requiring service members to see this film, though the film is fantastic. Tell me, what does the Melania Trump documentary have to do with the Pentagon? What does it have to do with our military readiness? You know, we hear Pete Hegseth out there all the time screaming about the warrior ethos and how he's cutting ties with Harvard because they're too woke. And yet, at the same time, the military under his command and under Commander-in-Chief, I hate saying that about him, Donald Trump, are being advised to go see this documentary. A highly partisan documentary that's absolutely terrible, that is quite possibly being used for political favoritism amongst Amazon and the United States government. What does that have to do with the warrior ethos? What does that have to do with helping us prepare for international conflict? What does that have to do with defending our country? I can tell you what it's going to do. It's going to alienate our service members. It's going to lower the recruiting numbers. And it's going to force military members to go, I'm not putting up with this anymore. And they're going to look for that first exit they can. They're not going to re-enlist if this is how they're going to be treated, forced to go see documentaries. And now we're also learning that VA chaplains are being told that they can't mention Alex Preddy. VA chaplains cannot mention the things that are going on in this country. So we know that the Trump administration is trying to control what the public sees and hears. They're trying to control the media. They've already effectively taken over CBS, made it state-run media. TikTok is now TikTrump. And now we are seeing our military members being used not only to prop up the money and the ticket sales from the Melania Trump documentary, but also being subjected to absolute garbage propaganda that has nothing to do with keeping our country safe. And look, this is just another example of this administration and the people that have been put in charge of crucial parts of our government being used for nothing more than loyalty. It has nothing to do with putting the best people forward. Donald Trump doesn't do that. He puts forward the most loyal people. Why? Because this government isn't interested in the safety of people like you and me. They're not interested in making sure our military is actually ready for combat. All they are interested in is propping up the Trump brand and the Trump name so that they can continue on making billions of dollars and getting political favoritism through people like Jeff Bezos. And we're the ones paying the price, the taxpayers and our military members who bravely have signed up to serve our country. And it is an absolute shame.
Doesn't it seem like our feeds are getting filled with more and more BS right-wing MAGA content? It's no secret that all these top tech bros are in love with the current regime, so it's no surprise that independent left-leaning media is being squashed by the algorithm. If you like our content and content like us, it doesn't take long to click that thumbs up, share, comment, or subscribe. So please help us keep the truth alive.